difference a week makes. What a difference a week makes.
No, you gotta say something's on little hours.
And all I'm gonna say is Myrla is now the Megan Stallion of the crew, where that bitch is like, I talk big shit, but my bank account match it. What?
I told y'all last week. No, y'all didn't want to listen to me.
So what?
That she had money and she was putting her shit away.
Let's just start with Myrla and Gil right off the rip. Because
if she's putting stuff away, what did she have to show for
it? Maybe just her bank account.
It's just the bank account.
Maybe
yeah, but you make the bank account work for you.
I agree.
Think her plan is to buy a house. That's what she was.
That's what she wanted.
But right now, she's just banking.
So then she doesn't have that much money. Then she can't buy the house.
She got more than he does, and she can afford.
We know that he's a little fireman. He's a little fireman, and he sends all this to Colombia.
So he says, when he said that, I'm like, I don't need you to write numbers on a piece of paper. I need to see a bank statement.
No, he doesn't have it. He doesn't have one for Colombia because he sent it to his family, right?
He said he had it. He said they were in his account in Colombia. Then there's a bank statement. Go, girl.
But he tried to make it like it was a retirement account in Colombia that he can't touch. And I'm saying to myself, I'm calling bullshit on that because you are sending money to your mama,
which is fine.
Your family, which is fine. You could do that because he's like, I can't touch it. Because remember when she called his ass on it and she's like, so if we were going to buy a house, that's money you can't touch. And he's like, yes, you're correct. And she's like, well, it's going to take us a while to get a house. Now, having her say that, one of two things. Either she doesn't have the 20% deposit to put on a house, or she's like, which I would be like, fuck you, I got that money, but I'm not putting all my money on this house for us. We're gonna have to do this shit together. And that's what she said. I have literally, I have done an absolute 360 from last week about Myrla to this week. I kind of am liking Myrla right now. And I really think that she really likes him. I like their little banter. I like their banter back and forth. I like the fact that when she met his mother, she was very cordial and emotional about it. I like the fact when their friends came over for the housewarming, she was very honest and she was doing her thing. And it's clear that okay, here we go.
Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch. I hate her.
I was hoping, Chris, I was hoping that you would change your mind this week.
No, she's so closed and selfish and self-absorbed, and she'll put her hand out like this, proverbially like this, and then like this. She's not open at all. Even with her mother, she was like, I don't like her at all. Sorry, go ahead.
Tanya, I'm with you because last week I started my 180 turn on her. I actually appreciated their relationship a little bit more than I did. I still am not a fan of hers, but when she's an introvert, and she said that then, and I can see it a lot now. Whereas where a lot of people who are introverted do get misinterpreted as being like selfish or whatever. She's still too fucking rude though. She needs to be.
Your dog's drilling on the ground.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Listen, you lost me with the dog. You lost me with the dog. Yeah, I'm done with the dog because I'm an animal lover. So at this stage of the game, Gil should have nipped that shit in the bud right off the rip. This is my dog. This is my fur baby. You know, this is a deal breaker here. If you can't accept my pet, then you got to get the gone. But he kept her, and I get where, I mean, I don't agree with her with how she treats the dog, but I look at the eyes, as I've been saying this for the longest time. It's all about the eyes. And the way she looks at him, she clearly has feelings for him. I think she is just putting it out there. I mean, just not putting it out there, but I think she's just kind of like pumping the brakes a little bit. But I also think, now let's fast forward to the housewarming, because her friend is full of shit. Because I think Myrla is playing this, I don't kiss until I'm really ready or until I'm really serious. Because if you know somebody for 10 years, 10 plus years, you've known them through relationships, marriages, whatever. So for her friend to sit with Gil, and Gil's like, is that how she is? Like, does she always wait forever to like be intimate or kiss or hug? And he's like, I don't really know. But I've known her to be kind of slow. Nah, I was like, no. If you've known that bitch for 10 years, you know that bitch.
No, I don't think 100%, because I feel like she puts up a front. So I can see maybe him not knowing her. She might be more relatable with her women friends than her male friends. You know, there's a level that she might not show him. But he said he doesn't recall her having any PDA with like any of her boyfriends or anything. But she also is hasn't been in a lot of relationships because her attitude is so stank.
All I'm going to say is, that's all I'm going to say with regards to Myrla, is that I'm turning a corner with her. I kind of like her this week. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris. I know.
I got one more thing.
Unless she puts something down on him. By the way, did you check out the table?
Oh, it's clean.
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
Unless she puts something down on him, like a kiss or something, before it ends, if she don't give anything up to him, he's out.
Oh, he already said that. So
that's what I'm saying. So it'll be interesting to see how she's going to push. She doesn't push herself at all. Even when they said, no, I don't do that. Like, you have to compromise. This, she said no. Remember they cut away to her and saying, she goes, no.
Yeah.
She's not compromising at all.
No.
So if she's not going to kiss him, that's some bullshit. First of all, you're married for 2 fucking weeks and you can't kiss your husband on the lips. That's some bullshit. I don't care how prudish you are. You got to kiss your man on the fucking, at least on the lip. He's your husband, for Christ's sake. Now, I don't say you have to suck his dick. I didn't say you had to fucking rub his balls. But kiss the man, for fucking Christ's sake. Kiss the man. You can't even kiss him on the lips, and you've been sleeping in the same fucking bed for 2. Yo, I don't fucking blame him. If she don't, he's got hella patience. I told you. He's got a lot of patience, and he likes her. Even though he said to her, listen, he said, I love that. I do like what about Gil. I know I'm yelling. I do like what I think about Gil is when he's like, if I, you're not always attracted to the person, you may not be the person you want to be. Or he's like, when I saw her, if I knew about her before I wouldn't have dated her at all. I was like, thank you, Gil. Thank you. The same with her. She's like, she's not my type. I'm not his type. If she don't kiss that boy, did you see when she came up to the fire truck? He came to visit her, put his hand, she came up to the fire, put her hand on. That's all you had to do.
That's all you had to do.
She didn't even do that.
I agree. Okay. So here's the thing. She didn't kiss him, but I like the fact that she had her Mrs. hat on. So she's in it. She's wearing the hat. And she walked over. I mean, even though she made comments like, I think my husband's stalking me, whatever, that is what it is. But when she walked over and I watched her body, I'm like a watcher of body language, and her face genuinely looked happy that he pulled up on her, number one. And then when he was like leaning out and she just put her hands around his arm and she was kind of looking at him like, she genuinely looked happy that he showed up.
I think
whether or not she was going to kiss him or not, I think she's getting there. I think she's getting there. And just the fact, even when she was talking to his mother, and she said to his mother, you know, I find him very attractive. I mean, she was very complimentary of him, and he acknowledged that, and he's like, you know, I'm glad that she said that, because it makes me feel like I'm wanted or whatever. And I was like, oh, we getting there. I think the ice is melting. I think she has just got her guards up so much that she's like, you know what? Let's see where this goes. And I'm just going to say, based off of this week, because next week is a whole nother story. Like I said, what a difference a week makes. I am Team Myrla right now.
Oh,
I'm a fan of Team Myrla right now. Sorry, Chris.
I'm still not Team Myrla, but I do believe that they are. I like them as a couple this week. I just did. And then, like I said, I just got to keep saying, I said last week, I was turning that corner then that, you know, she wasn't as horrible, but she's still, she's too rude. But one of the things I wanted to say about Myrla, for all her, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, she is a homie heifer. She does not wear shit that looks good. Shit that look like nothing that she had. Like, okay, what was it? It was with Rachel. Like her little top that she had on. For the I Googled and tried to find that top.
Rachel was working her ass off this week with that outfit.
There's nothing that Myrla wears. She looks like she just rolled out of bed every time. Her hair is greasy. It looks horrible. And I know, like with Black girls, we do the hair all the time. There's always a different look. So I understand, like, you know, other people don't. They just keep it straight and they think that looks good. But that shit looks tacky all the damn time.
And it looks dirty.
I have not seen her genuinely smile or light up. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen her genuinely light up when she thinks about him or she talks about him. I have not seen her go.
He lit up a little when he pulled up. There was a little sunshine there.
I saw a little something, and then when they had the housewarming, she had a little. I mean, even though she was kind of like, she's still her. I'm just what comes out of her mouth. I'm not listening to what comes out of her mouth. I'm looking at her face.
Yeah,
and it's like two different things. It's like night and day with her. She'll say some rude shit, but the way that her face looks, it's like, bitch, you know you love that motherfucker. Like, you know you want to kiss him and have sex with him. But you don't want, I don't know if it's a TV thing where she just doesn't want to put her business out there and make herself, you know, show herself as like, oh, I'm having sex with this man that I just met. But you signed up for that. He is your husband. Who cares if you banged him the night of the wedding? That's your husband. If you had chemistry, handle that shit. And we all are a certain age. So fuck it. Handle it.
I don't know. I still find her. I feel she wears a stink face 98% of the time.
Thank you.
It's all. I mean, she never seems like she's enjoying a moment. Like I said,
Thank you.
A little ray of like sunshine when he pulled up.
It's not all that is.
It came. It went away. She's
Shahidah. If you are in total darkness and you put a flashlight on, you be like, "Oh, look at all that light." She is awful. Has not budged 1 inch in terms of, okay, well, maybe we can work with it. She's like, oh, well, I guess her attitude of like, well, I guess we're going to have to, you know, save up, whatever. It was a fucking dig at him too. I didn't fucking like that shit. I don't like the digs that she puts on him. She wanted someone who's rich to take care of, or I wanted someone who's on my equal level, and she, fine. Yes, if that's what you want, that's not what you have. That's not what you have. You have a firefighter who's got a dog, who's trying to do his best or with something or the other, and that's it.
But she is working with him. Like, they actually listed out all of their bills, everything that needs to be paid.
She had to.
Well, yeah,
That
of course.
was the assignment.
But then that was the assignment. Great. They did that. She was willing to work with that, and she did it. And then it came time to showing each other their finances. And she's like, here's mine. And he was like, oh, okay. And then he showed her his. But why? And then, but for her to make that statement, I didn't think that was rude. When she's like, well, it looks like we're going to wait. We're going to have to wait a little while before we buy a house.
Yeah, but with a stank attitude, a stank face, she said that.
That's how she is. That's who she is.
That's how she is.
Yes, I know. She's always like that. She's stank.
But even if she has the money, because apparently she has the money. But I agree with her.
No, she has more money than he does.
She has more money than he does.
You don't know how much she has.
We don't know. We don't know. But I get where she's coming from when she's like, well, I guess we're going to have to wait to buy a house together. Because
she didn't say it like that, Tanya. If she had said it like that, if she had said it like Rachel or one of these other, well, I guess we're gonna have to wait. You know, let's build something. She didn't say it that. She's like, well, I guess we're gonna have to wait till someone's on. She said it with a fucking stank attitude.
Yeah,
her whole attitude is stank. You all can be Team Myrla. I am not Team Myrla, and I will not be Team Myrla.
I'm Team Myrla.
Team Myrla, you can be Switzerland, and I am no. I am no. I am
Team Myrla this week.
Myrla.
I am Team Myrla this week.
Her. I understand her a little bit more. I still wouldn't want to be friends with her, but I do. Like I said from last week, I get her perspective on things. I totally get it. It's just that she's a nasty person.
What's perspective? What are you talking about?
Her perspective on like her bills and what she decides to pay and her savings, and you know,
right.
If she has it, and you all were saying last week that she didn't have it, I was saying she could definitely have it. She had a savings account. She
don't have it enough if she has not gotten a place yet. So maybe we'll just say
that's her choice.
She's in Houston. She's in Houston. You're trying to tell me that you don't have enough money. You need what, $20,000, $30,000 to put down? Right?
Maybe she does, but maybe she is a traditional. Maybe she might be a traditionalist, and it's like, I'm not going to buy a house until like I'm going to get married, and we'll buy a house.
Bullshit. You know, damn Myrla wants it for herself.
I already know.
She's all about herself. So if you're living in Houston and you have all this money in the bank, and you can't buy a place, and you can't.
Who says she can't? Maybe
she hasn't. She hasn't.
She doesn't want to. It's not everybody's goal to own property. It's just
that
not.
Is true. That is true.
If she is all, okay. All right. Well, maybe
it's not everybody's goal.
I would imagine if you're in Los Angeles or New York or someplace that's really expensive to get a place and you can't. Houston is cheap.
True.
Houston is cheap. If you have the money and you live in Houston and you can't buy a place,
that is true.
Or haven't bought a place, and you have that small ass closet, and you have that small ass closet with all those clothes, all that small closet, you don't think she wants a bigger place?
She could probably rent a bigger place if she wanted to.
But she's not doing that either.
I don't know. I know that she said she's saving. I know that his eyes popped out of his head when he saw her savings, and he shut the fuck up about her spending.
He shut the fuck up about her eyelashes when he was like, how much did those eyelashes cost? And she's like, don't worry about that. Because at the end of the day, she's got her money. And then she had the nerve to clap back, which I was like, that was when I was like, bitch, I'm Team Myrla this week, this week. When she was like, I have no debt. I have credit cards, but when I charge, she's like, I pay that shit off the next month immediately. And she's like, I have no debt.
Then too. And
so if she wants to spend $500 to get fluffy eyelashes implanted in her eyeballs and wants to put, $1,000 worth of Louboutins in her fucking 25-inch.
Also said with the shopping, she only shops a couple of times a year. It's not. She only does big shoppings a couple of times a year. So it's not like she's in the store every single week buying up all this stuff.
But here's the grocery thing. Were my eyebrows the only eyebrows that were pursed like this when she was giving him her grocery bill. She's like, oh, last month I spent like almost $390 on groceries. And I'm like, on what, bitch? You live by yourself. I live by myself.
She don't cook. She don't do anything.
But she bought groceries. That was her grocery bill.
Yeah, but probably
groceries are expensive.
Yeah,
but I cook on a regular, and I don't spend that shit in a month
because she don't cook.
You buying $400 a month on groceries.
No.
I don't either. I don't either at all.
No.
Not even close.
I live alone.
A month?
No.
You spend $400 a month on groceries, Sheeta?
Hell no.
$100 a week?
Ooh.
How many people are you feeding now?
Me.
You spend $100 a week on groceries.
I don't go to the grocery store every single week. I go to the store maybe like twice a month.
All right, so you spend $200 twice a month?
Pretty much close to 200.
Okay. All right, well.
What the fuck kind of shit is that?
What?
Who the fuck does that? I don't do that shit. I've never done that shit.
What?
As a person by myself, I've never spent like $400 a month on groceries.
I do.
No, I have I go to Costco and get my meats and shit, or I'll go. Oh my God, we're digressing right quick. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Well, that's another.
But it's not like that every single month. Like she was saying, like 1 month she spent like only 100 and something, and then the next month it was like 3 something. So it varies.
What's interesting also, if she's so diligent about saving money and making sure she's saving up for something or this, that, and the other, for someone who's like, oh, I don't know, probably this amount, $300 a month, or she doesn't seem to be so, I shop maybe two, 3 times, she doesn't seem to be very on top of her finances of like, except paying off her credit card debt every month.
I don't think she cares.
Finances, like how much.
Well, she doesn't seem to really know, like, how, what's his name? Jose has his budget and this, that, and the other. And it seems like Gil has a budget of like this, and this. I don't feel like she has a budget. She's just like, oh, whatever I'm in the mood for to feel like if I want to buy some stuff, then I'll buy some stuff. If I don't, I don't. I mean, I don't feel like she's on top of her expenses so much that's why she's hoarding this money. So, and what is she hoarding? I don't know.
Here's my thought
about money.
Go ahead.
Huh?
I just don't think she's stressing about money.
No,
like she knows she knows a roundabout what she's gonna spend on groceries. She's not stressed about that. She has a roundabout what she's going to pay. She knows exactly what her car payment is, what her rent is, and her electricity. So she's not stressing about anything. So I don't get what you're saying.
So I'm saying that if they said we are going to have to save to get a house, she obviously doesn't have enough money for the 2 of them to do it.
Well, why should she have to put up all
would she pay his half?
No, I'm not paying that.
Hey, goddamn.
No, boo-boo. No.
But I'm saying in Houston, I
don't care where
she
we're
can
at.
buy a place on her own and she has all that money. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I was saying from the beginning. I'm pretty sure she could have bought a house by now.
She may just
not want to.
Because ownership, listen.
Well, why would she even be talking about being stank-faced with buying a house?
I think as a married couple and like building a life, that's her idea. Like, okay, now we should have a house.
She ain't.
But as a single,
I can't stand that girl.
You cannot. You cannot stand her at all.
So selfish. She's so like, ugh.
I agree with you, Chris. Her demeanor is off.
Her demeanor sucks.
Her demeanor is off-putting and it sucks. But as a woman, I'm looking at kind of where she's coming from. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she wants someone who has a lot of money to take care of her. That she can keep her money and then let him buy the house for the 2 of them. So she can keep her money and do whatever she wants to do. That's what she was hoping for. To keep her own money so she can spend her own money on her shoes and this, that, and the other, to put all her 10 pairs of jeans, nasty-ass, ugly-ass jeans on her hanger in a small-ass closet.
Her hanger that holds like 6, her hanger that holds like 6 pairs of jeans.
I'm sorry. She just looks homey as fuck. I just got to say that again.
She just looks dirty. Like her hair is never kept. Her hair always is stringy and greasy. And I'm like, wash your fucking hair and wash your face. because her face is all greasy and everything.
She doesn't like makeup.
And I agree with you, Shahidah. Like when she presents herself for the show, she's just always like she works out, and it's obvious that she has a good body and a good shape, and she's just there with like a t-shirt, sweats, no face. Well, we already know she doesn't like makeup after the wedding, but her hair is just greasy and stringy, and she just looks a hot mess. And I'm just like, really?
She don't even try to.
No, she doesn't.
Spruce up. She don't even try.
No. And I look at this. Look, I'm sorry, and I might get myself shot in the foot, but I'm like, if I have a man, like I like to look pretty for myself. When I get up in the morning, I take my shower. I mean, I work out, take my shower, put my face on, do my hair, and I look cute. I may not be all gussied up if I'm not going anywhere, but I'm like, I look cute for me. But if I had a man, like, I'm going to make sure that I'm straight. Like when he sees me, he's going to, well, I hope that without a face on, he'd be like, oh, you're still beautiful.
I think part of that is because she doesn't really want him to be attracted to her, because then he's gonna want it even more, and then she's gonna be like, no. I think she wants to keep it. No, that's okay. Yeah, I'm trying to explain as someone who keeps talking about Louboutins and looking all fly and cute, not trying at all to look cute, especially with her man. Because if he's calling you cute, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, can we kiss? Like he's gonna even be more aggressive toward her. Maybe she's like, no, I'm just gonna be in my burlap sack, and no, we'll just. Oh my god, I wonder
not seeing her walk into a room.
The only affection I've ever seen from her is when she put her hand on his thing in the when the fire truck came. That's the only time I've ever seen her touch him in a way of like, oh, I'm going to touch him. That's the only time I've ever seen it. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe we don't see behind the scenes, whatever. But that's all I've seen. And she's a stank ass, and I hate the bitch. Go ahead.
Okay, we're done with Gil and Myrla. Let's go on to the
we didn't give percentages. I mean, because you did a 180.
I did a 180. So I'm right now, based off of this episode, I'm going to give them, and I forgot what I gave them last week. I think I was next to nothing last week. Based off of this episode, I'm going to give them like 80%.
Go ahead, Shahidah. What you
giving them 80.
The laugh, the disrespectful laugh.
I know that was a good evil laugh.
I'm gonna stay with. I think I had them at 65 or 70.
No, you didn't have them 65 or 70.
Did I not? 65.
No, I don't think you had. No, we didn't. All right. Go ahead.
Wait, I think I did.
We need to rewatch last week, whatever.
No, I haven't.
I thought Shahidah was keeping count.
I did, but it's on another piece of paper, and it's in my room. Let me see. I have it, but I'm gonna have to.
All right.
What are you giving them now?
I'm going to give them. I'm going to go
80.
with 65.
Really? Okay, yeah, that could change.
And you said 80?
I said 80. Based off of this week's episode. I'm going to give them 80.
40.
Well, we already know, Chris.
40.
40?
Yeah, 40. It's going to be too much for it's going to be too much for him, and too much for him. Her bouginess, this, that, and the other. Her not kissing him, no affection, because she is not in 2 weeks. Not even. I don't see any kind of like movement towards. The only thing is when it's not going to be enough. Maybe after three more weeks, they get even closer. Or I think she's getting broken down by him a little bit in terms of like, she knows he's a nice guy. She knows what she has to deal with, this, and the other. I still think she's holding on strong to, this is not what I really, really want, but I'm just dealing with it for the time being. I think he's going to be really sick of her bougie stuff. I think he's going to be really sick of not getting anything. If she gives him something, she gives him a little bit, he's in. He's totally in. He's 80. If she gives a little bit, gives him a kiss or something, just touches his dick, he's in.
I agree.
He, on the other hand, she doesn't like the money. She doesn't like the dog. She doesn't like. I think she's tolerating this, that, and the other for the time being and saying, oh, well, maybe I guess it could work in this, that, and the other, and she's doing it for the camera, whatever. I give her a 35, 30, 35. I give him a, if she touches dick, he'd be 80. So I think it evens out to about a 40 tops, maybe 45, because it's getting closer to maybe or maybe not. But at this point, I still don't think that they're too far diametrically opposed they're too far apart. They're too far apart. Too far apart.
I don't know. I agree with all of that you're saying, but the thing that surprises me the most is that he still tolerates her as well as he does. So that makes me wonder if he's okay with her behavior. He doesn't,
because I think it's for the cameras, and I think it's because they have to make 7 weeks and they have to pace themselves throughout the whole thing. Because every time he brings up to someone else, he's like, I wouldn't date her because she's bougie. You're extra, extra, extra. What's that mean? You want me to look it up? It's extra. He goes at her like this, which he should.
That's how you read it, but that's not, like when he's talking to her, it seems very light to me.
Yeah, I think he's being light because he has to get it out to her because she's so like, well, what do you mean? Like, you're really, he jokes. I think he's joking about it, but he's serious about that shit. I think he's totally serious. Even when she say your dog is slobbering, he's like, okay, I'll take care of it. Something else. He's going to get tired of that. I'm telling you, she is.
I'm amazed that, well, we'll see.
I won't talk about her anymore. Let's go on.
Sir. All right.
I am not feeling Myrla. I don't want to talk about her. She's getting me all emotional right now.
I see.
I'm going to have a little sip of my Costco margarita right now.
All right. So who we going to go? Jose and Rachel?
You need to try the strawberry one too.
What?
There's a strawberry margarita at Costco.
I already tried it. I don't like this. I like the original. I like this one better.
I like
this one better.
And
strawberry was good, but I like this one better.
Did you put more tequila in it too? You have to put a little.
Oh God, no! This one taps me out. I'm good.
You need to put a little more tequila in. Anyway,
all right. Can we go to the most? Let's just get the boring couple off the table and Brett and Ryan. She's
starting to dig him.
Look at my note. You see where it says with Brett and Ryan?
Woo!
I do not care.
Go.
That was just your Brett and Ryan's notes.
Did you see what I said? Did you see what I said?
Oh, I do not care.
I do not care.
I do not care. All right. So let's just make this very brief because I made some notes too. And let me see if I have anything with regards to Brett and Ryan. Let me see. Jose, Michaela, Zach, Johnny. No. Wait, blah, blah. I got nothing on my notes of Brett and Ryan.
This is the Ryan look all the time.
Oh. He serial killer. I'm ID channel. I know we're gonna see him soon. He says, nothing. I don't know if he's serial killer.
I don't know if he's serial killer, ID, snap, or oxygen material. I just know that
he looks like
his eyes. Again, I look at people's eyes and I look at people's body language, and his eyes are dead as fuck. When he looks at his friend, like this episode, they were working out in the gym and he's talking to his friend that he's known for a long time. And his friend is all emotional and like, and he's looking at his friend like, and I'm just like, there's nothing there with him. Even when the whole friends came over and he was a little bit like, accepting like, oh, I like her. And he's telling her people and whatever that he likes her, but I'm like, there's nothing here.
No animation at all.
Nothing.
No live.
So I'm done. I don't think that's gonna work. I give them like 30%. I'm done.
Once they start fucking, it's on. Watch. For both of them. He's been holding out and being patient. Once you start, and if she fucks him well, it's over. Because she's starting to like him even more and having more of a crush on him. She's liking, but she's holding back. And he's like, oh, once they start fucking, it's over. It's over. Done. Because they have enough boring with each other, enough time. He's like, well, she's got a lot of anxiety and this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other. And yeah, and she's like this, that, and the other. but he still kind of likes her though. He still kind of likes her,
right?
Even with all the anxiety. Well, the traveling's gonna be, man. She got anxiety and this, that, and the other. But if they start fucking, he's over. If she starts fucking him and loud, it's over. They're done. They're gonna do it.
I hope so.
I see them making it. I just don't care.
Yeah, right now I'm giving them a 30% because I just don't give a shit.
But they're not gonna make it, you're saying?
Yeah, I give them 30% that they're not gonna make it. Yeah.
I give them a 70, and I think that was the same as last week. I thought that they were still gonna make it. I just don't care.
I'm at 75, Shahidah. I'm at 75.
Okay.
I'm the oddball out. Yeah, I don't see it because his face is
once they start fucking,
well, we'll see.
Physically being involved, because right now it's friendship, and they're
getting along well.
Right. Once they start fucking, boom.
But the key word is friendship, because the two of them kept saying we're kind of in that friend zone.
Yeah.
And he said, if we can get over, and I agree with him, and like you too, Chris, if they can get over that friend zone, then it will be good. But I don't know.
She's holding the key. She's holding the key. Once she gets to a point of like, you know what? I'm going to fuck him.
No. I disagree with you. I think he's holding the key.
Hell no.
I think
on the fucking wedding night. On the wedding night.
No,
he had his shirt off.
Him right now.
Yeah, can you yeah, don't you remember he had a shirt off? He's like, yeah, so I'm a very sexual person. He's ready to fuck.
But right now, after this episode, when she was talking to his lady friend that was married to his friend or whatever, she is all in to get down and dirty with him. But I think she is like kind of standoffish, like, okay.
Yeah, she's holding the key. She's like, I'm not gonna do it until okay, I'll let you do it. Once she allows that, she's getting closer and closer to that, getting physical. All he needs is physicality. I'm telling you, all he needs is that.
I agree.
And then once it's on, it is on like hot buttered popcorn.
Because I'm not into
like Billabong.
I ain't into the Caucasian person. I am not into the Caucasian persuasion, but I will say Ryan is producing all of that. Like I said, beards and biceps.
I don't get none of that.
And Jesus.
Anyway,
but I ain't fucking
Jose and Rachel.
Oh, let's go to gay Jose and Rachel.
I'm still not on that train, but
I'm not on that train either. And when they were at, listen, I tried not to judge when they were at the nursery buying the plants and the vegetables and stuff. Because Chris, I'm going to be honest with you. I immediately thought of you because when they went there and he's like, gets the garden little box and he's like, we could put our little garden things in there, right? And she's like, well, what about this? Wait. She's like, what about this? And he's like, no, I think I gotta do this. We're gonna do this. And I'm literally laying in bed like, oh my God, you're so gay. But then I was like, oh, wait a minute. I was like, my boy Chris ain't gay. And Chris got the bomb ass.
But I wouldn't get the little garden thing that has the little thing. Oh, this will look cute. I wouldn't do that shit.
Have a garden. That's the hang in the kitchen.
It's the hang in the kitchen.
So it says garden. It says garden on it.
No,
and he's like, oh, this would be cute.
No, I think they wanted to do it to like have it there. So like when their housewarming came over, it was in the kitchen so that they can people can
gay as a $3 bill.
Gay as all day long. That's all I got to say.
And controlling.
Oh, child.
Controlling, yes.
And she's okay. She only has a little. It's funny. She has a little resist. She doesn't mind him being controlling, but has just a little resistance. But will go to what he says eventually.
I think she's slowly falling for his behavior, and that was what we did not want for her. But now she sees she's kind of like giving him that excuse for it. Like, oh, he's not really controlling. He just has a plan. That's controlling.
Right. Exactly.
And when he was like, listen, what I like the most is, his stepmother had a whole lot of shit to say. When she said to Rachel in the bedroom, when they separated and had their talk, and she said to Rachel, don't let him keep your own thing. Don't let him take full control. But what killed me the most is like, he's talking like he's like a classic shit talker. Like he wants everybody to like make it seem like he wants to make it seem like he's got his shit together and everybody like is like clap, 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 clap. Because how do you have a housewarming when he pulled out that motherfucking whiteboard and
which
then
was in his office? It wasn't in the kitchen.
Yeah, when he's like, not to toot my own horn, but toot toot, and then he's like brings out the whiteboard as he's drinking, and he's like, this is and here's my credit score 813, and I'm like, fuck you, motherfucker, ain't nothing to be excited about that. Good, congratulations, but goddamn, something you need to keep private.
I don't think I honestly don't think we've seen him yet. I don't think he's genuine. I feel like but there's difference between. I feel like when everyone came in for the housewarming, he's always like, "Hey," he's like, "Yeah, welcome." I feel like there's a lot of fakeness to him. Yes. Even when he said, "Hey, Johnny, are you okay?" And "Hey, man," it seems disingenuous, and he's trying to be genuine. Does that make sense?
What made sense is that when he went into Johnny, thank you, and when they went in for that hug and Johnny hugged him, I was like, motherfucker, you didn't even hug your wife like that. Why don't Jose? I think Jose and Johnny, I think that's the shit right there.
I think Jose has a man crush on Johnny,
and I think Johnny has a man crush on Jose.
Oh, I don't know about that. I think
Johnny hugged Jose like he was about to lose his life.
He was emotional.
Yeah, he needed a hug. But Jose hugged him. Yeah.
Jose was like, tap in, tap, tap, tap in, tap, tap in. Come on.
I just don't think he's genuine. I'm not a real fan. She's weird because I can't decide if I like her or not, or if she's just dumb, or if she's kind of flighty, or if she's kind of like, yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I think she's kind of flighty, but I think she's kind of like conflicted. Like she wants to be that woman. She wants to be a wife that has a husband that takes care of her and loves her and does everything. But she also does not want to be, she wants to be the wife, but doesn't want to be that wife where he's controlling everything. Because he is not letting go with we should have a joint account. And then I can take care of all the finances and pay all the bills. And then if we have money left over, if she wants to go on trips, we can go on trips and whatever. Sorry, not sorry. This is not how this works.
Did you see the small little dig he had when we have kids and then, like go on trips, which is a waste of money. And did you hear that small little thing?
Yep.
No, what?
He was saying, he was explaining, he's like, yeah, because, when I wanted to get married and when I have kids, and then, saving money and like, you're not going on trips or anything. But he put a dig in there about spending money on trips.
Oh, okay, got you.
He keeps digging that of like, and you can see her face. She was like, she has a little bit.
But they all were like that too. Everybody at the table was in disagreement with him. And I feel that him being so adamant that all the money has to go into a joint account makes me fearful that he's gonna run off with the fucking money. Why are you so adamant that because it's almost like a kind of an abuse that you control all the money, then you control the household. He's too adamant about it, and he's not I thought he would let it go by now, but he hasn't.
It's one thing if you are the dominant alpha male in the relationship where you're the only one working, like your wife is sitting at home doing nothing. She is not saying let me take that back, not doing nothing. But if she's not working and she's tending to the house, if there's children involved or if not, she's tending to the house, she's cleaning, cooking, making sure everything is done in the household. And you're going to work and you come home and that's it. It's I get that. If he wants to have the joint account and he gives me a stipend to go to the supermarket or do whatever I got to do, I ain't doing that, but whatever. But I'm just saying that's one hypothetical. But it's another thing when your ass is a whole independent ass career. You have a whole career and you're got a whole salary coming in, I'm not giving up all my money. And the only reason why I say that is because I'm speaking from experience, because I did that one time. The one time I got married, and I was married a man that wanted to be the guy. I had my whole nursing career and was like, we're gonna do joint everything. And I'm like, well, you know, can't we can have a joint account. We can put money into a joint account to pay for mortgage or rent or groceries and bills. And then the rest of your money is your money and the rest of my money is my money. Nope. He wanted to have everything. And my dumbass let him have everything. And that got my ass divorced and out on the street and friggin' all my money taken from my retirement and everything. And
I think they're going to go. I think they're at 75%.
Yeah. Unless he comes,
I'll say 80. I'll say 80.
Unless he comes out of the closet, I'm going to give them like 80-85%.
I'll say 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I said 80 before.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with that too.
Yeah.
He's got to loosen up his reins a little bit, though. That's the only. If he loosens up a little bit,
he's not.
Compromise. I don't think he is.
So.
I don't think he is.
Because he's also.
I think she will concede to him. That's the problem.
Right. She'll submit to him eventually. Because she will. I think she will end up submitting to him. She may not like it, but I have a feeling she will submit to him because what else is out there for her? She's had a shitty ass fucking dating history and shitty ass relationships. She's got this guy that apparently is head over heels with her, even though he's gay, but whatevs. We'll see where that goes. I hate to label him as gay because I don't want to do that.
Well, you keep doing it all the time, so I don't think you hate it.
I'm sorry. I think he's gay. I'm sorry. I just really think he's gay, but whatevs. So enough about them. We gave our percentages, but okay. Next couple. Let's go to. Do we want to? I don't know, because both these couples are good. I say let's go with Johnny and Bao first and save the best for last in my Vanessa Williams voice.
See, I thought Johnny and Bao was the best, but go ahead.
Me too.
All right, well then let's go to Michaela and Zach. Why? All I got to say on this one is, how did I think that Michaela was going to turn into the Chris Williams, not you, Chris Williams, but the Chris Williams of last season, of this season? That bitch, psycho.
Well, because I think it was that first preview, and they really let us have it. But
she's crazy. That bitch is crazy. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The bitch went to the girls' night at the bar, and the boys went to the boys' night, and she sat there after Zach said, "Oh yeah, she doesn't want to do a housewarming." And then when she's sitting with the girls, and then she pulled that classic shit out of her ass. She didn't want to say anything when they were like, "How's things going?" "Oh, everything's good." "Oh yeah, housewarming's coming along." I wouldn't say anything either. Fuck. Keep it real. Bitch, you on TV. You signed up for this shit. That's who I am. No, then don't sign up for that shit. If you're not prepared to put your shit on the table, then don't
already see her shit on the table. If she doesn't feel comfortable talking about it, I get it. I wouldn't do it either.
But the thing about that part is they're all in this together. They're all sharing. So at least give a little bit of something of what's going on.
Right.
But I get it.
The other one's just like, we're having trouble with this and they're having trouble with that.
She sat there and was like, everything's good. Oh yeah, we think oh yeah, we got the same. And I'm just like,
listen, I think she was
like, bitch, that shit ain't true.
That Bao said something to make her, because everybody else seemed like they were doing well. So I think she was really appreciative when Bao said something and kind of like said, things are not going great. Maybe she just didn't want to be the first one, but she's absolutely manipulative.
She's crazy.
She's manipulative. She's nasty. She fights from way below the belt. Way below the belt. Yep. And then and maybe it's her family, maybe it's her sisters, how she was raised or whatever. But she thinks that once she says sorry, and once she starts shedding fake tears, and once she gets that emotion in her voice, that you're supposed to back off. And I'm pretty sure everybody has backed off, you know, but that's not how you resolve an issue. That's not how you, she's so immature. I mean, and I thought that Zach was immature or would be immature. He ain't got nothing on her. Her immaturity is in the, I mean, oh, she's in the trash, in the trash.
And I will go a little bit further, like you said, with her family. I was thinking to myself, kind of like you, like, you know, her dad died tragically by a drunk driver. She was young, and her older siblings kind of maybe sheltered her, and the family like enveloped her and coddled her to the point where now she's had this as her growing up into her adult life, that I don't think she understands how to deal with issues. I think she should have had therapy way. She shouldn't have been on the show. She should, once she had the conversation, but well, then again, maybe she could have faked it to make it with Pastor Cal. And
she says the right things.
Yeah. She like, again, Chris Williams of last season is now Michaela of this season. She could have said everything right to make them be like, okay, we like this girl and we're pairing her with Zach. And now all of a sudden she's got all these issues, her daddy issues of dying, whatever. It is what it is. And her family probably coddling her. I don't know if that's true, but from what I've seen, I'm assuming. And she's got way too much rage in her. The fact that he went and took his dog out, the dog shitted. Now we see the video of why he left and didn't wake her up, because the dog shitted on the floor. And he's like, oh shit, let me get this dog out of here, because he doesn't want to disrupt her. And he takes the dog, and like, she comes on, she's like, Zach, I mean, if my husband or my mate is in my house or in our house and he's not there, I'll be like, where the fuck is he? But
and the dog is gone.
And the dog is gone. I'm not gonna like have a tantrum or a rage and slam everything down on the table and then pack my bags and go. I'm gonna sit there and be like, well, I hope he's okay, and text him, text his people, text whoever the fuck, and be like, where the fuck are you? That bitch is crazy. She's crazy.
She's unstable. She's
very unstable.
For a small thing to make her, she takes it to the extreme. I mean, to the extreme. And now I'm like with Zach, I'm like, I feel him, because he's like, I didn't even want to come up here because I don't know how you're gonna fucking act, because you're fucking crazy. That's what he wants to say. And she's like, I said I'm sorry. No, bitch, you're fucking nuts.
And he basically said it.
When he was upset, like when he came to her and he was just like, you know, then the next day you said, oh, I don't want to have the housewarming thing. So you just flipped out on that, and then you flip back to it and everything. And then she's like, well, I didn't know that you would feel this way. No, you didn't. But if you was a mature person, you would know that you were behaving in an irrational way.
Yes.
And the fact that he told her, he showed up for the housewarming, obviously, because that's what good men do. But when he said to her afterwards, because now she's like, oh,
everything's
she's got a little dress on and everything's fine. And he's looking at her like, are you kidding me? He's like, no, I didn't sign up for this. Like, I see this in past relationships. It's a red flag for me, and I'm out. And then she starts with the fucking waterworks, and he's like, yeah, I'm not. She's like, are you going to stay here tonight? And he's like, no, I'm leaving.
She never cried, though. She didn't cry.
No, but she was kind of like,
she got that voice like she was going to. Then she got angry, and then she brought the voice back again, manipulative.
Exactly. He is done. I give them a straight up 0%. That shit ain't gonna work.
I like
unless Pastor Cal, listen, the only person that is going to save this relationship is going to be Pastor Cal. I don't think whatever the Dr. Pepper and whoever that other crazy bitch is that wears the weird ass outfits, I don't think none of them are going to save them. And I think Michaela is her worst enemy. I think Zach is going to try because Zach always wanted to be married. I think he might not live with her, but he might be like, okay, if they do like couples things, he might show up. But I think she is going to show her whole natural ass, and he's going to be like, I'm done. And I give him a 0 on top of a 0.
I like one thing. I did like Zach's friend's advice when he was saying that, you know, Zach had an expectation, which was a fairy tale expectation of marriage, and then reality might be different. But I don't think which was great advice for any other situation, but because he didn't see how Michaela reacted, that was too broad for Zach. And Zach's whole thing is, I've dealt with this before in relationships. I'm not going to deal with this. So I really think that he already has gone down this path and he's done, which I don't blame him. He's done.
I've got one more thing. That's why I'm glad I took notes. I got one more thing. Her friends are not her fucking friends, because again, I'm about the eyes and the body language. And when he pulled her girlfriends into the room to talk to them, and he's telling them she's like a little explosive and this and that, and he's like, have you seen that before? And they were all like sitting there like this. You know, she's passionate, but no, you know, she's a little standard.
They can't sell their girl out.
Yeah, why would you say
I'm sorry. Listen, phony as fuck. I was like reading through the lines when they were out there talking to him, and I was like, oh yeah, they ain't gonna throw their girl under the bus.
No, I think they were trying to give her grace.
Listen, you know your girl is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Right. I think they were trying to give her grace because their thing was, once she feels secure, she won't behave this way.
I think she's going to always behave that way. I think she's always going to behave that way, and this is why her ass is eternally single, because she's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to be honest with you. You guys are my friends. I mean, Shahidah, I've known you forever. Chris, I've known you for a little bit, but you my friend. And I always say no new friends, but people that I consider my friends, if someone were to ever come to you and ask you about me, you better give them the real deal. That bitch is crazy. She's this, that,
I
whatever.
would not do that.
Even if you thought that, or whatever issues you may think, red flags that come up, because that's what happens. It happens. We're all flawed people. I would expect that my friends, especially if I bring someone in the fold that I'm trying to build a life with, and they want to ask you shit, I would expect you guys to be like, oh yeah, you know, well, she tends to.
Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Oh, I would.
I'm not doing
Why?
that. I'm not.
Why not?
No, that's between you and that person to work that out. I would not get involved in that. Nope.
Oh, girl.
Nope,
no,
I would not.
No, bitch, we've been together since '82. Shut your
and I would be like, she's great to me.
Exactly.
She good to me, but yeah.
Nope. There won't be no yeah. They'd be like, she's good to me. She's funny. I love her a lot. And I will leave it at that. I'm not breaking down your flaws to somebody I don't know.
But if I asked you to, if I asked you to sit with them and was like,
you do that.
Tell them whatever, answer any questions that they have. No?
Nope. I'm not getting involved in that.
Girl, that's why. Go on, you and Shahidah. Chris and Shahidah. That's why you my main shit stains.
You just said that you wanted us to do that shit. I'm not doing that.
I do, but now I'm like looking at y'all in a whole different light. Like, I know you bitches got my back. But if I crush a whole bottle of Clorox bleach wipes like Michaela did on the table, remember when she had the Clorox?
I would come to you. I would come to you. Why the fuck are you acting crazy? I'm not going to some dude. To the dude, I'd be like, well, what did you do?
Thank
Right,
you.
right.
That day.
Thank you. Like, why the fuck did you make that bitch crush a whole tube of Clorox wipes? Because that shit is fucking expensive.
What did you do?
Right? What did you do?
What was your issue? Right.
Right? I love it.
Why did you make her be? Why did you make her feel like this?
Yeah, exactly. And then I would go to you and be like, why are you being a fucking crazy ass?
Right? Why are you being psycho, you crazy bitch? I love it. That's why I love you guys. Okay. So bow, 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 bow. Johnny and Bow, 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 bow. Oh, I am heartbroken for Bow. But Johnny got crazy ass issues. And who wants to start on that one? Because I don't.
Go ahead, Sheila.
You all love them. So you go like you.
I still like them. I still like them. The only reason why
I like them, I don't love them.
I like when I say I love them because I think they're going to stay together. They're doing the hardest in terms of doing the work out of any of the couples.
Mm-hmm.
They are working really hard, uncovering uncomfortable things, digging up shit, how I feel about this. What am I afraid of? What am I scared of? What is she about? Digging. And that's the only way you can have a successful marriage relationship is if you're willing to dig in there, which Myrla isn't. She ain't got a little spoon from the sample spoon of Baskin Robbins.
Done with her, sir. Move on.
She didn't have that anywhere. But they are, he is putting a big ass John Deere hoe and bringing all that shit, breaking the cement and digging it up. And she's doing the same thing. They're both working really, really hard. But the thing that's going to keep them going forward is knowing that they are right for each other and they just have to get through all this stuff. He's just, as a dude, he is just terrified. He's just terrified.
I agree.
And he's asking all the questions. I don't know. I don't know. But he's staying in it. He's staying right there because he's already married, and he knows that she cares about him. He's just freaking out because the reality of, oh my God, I'm married to this woman. What do I have to do? Is hitting him big time. But the fact that he's doing all of this work, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay between the two of them. I really do. I really think that.
I'm going to say this. I think that the only reason why that they have been able to put in this work and have these hard conversations is because they knew each other previously. Mm-hmm. I don't think that if they didn't, if when she came down that aisle and they met eyes and she's like, the both of them like, oh my God, I know you. And she had a crush on him 10 years prior and vice versa or whatever. I don't think that we'd be having this conversation, or I don't think that they'd be having those hard conversations, because it's different when you know somebody, even though you're not really intimately involved or know that person like that, but you know them. And if you had a crush on them and then all of a sudden you're paired up to be married, it's like, okay, what else have you got? Like, I know you, you know me. Let's have these conversations right off the rip. I think that I agree with you, Chris, that I think Johnny is terrified because Johnny is in his own little world of, I'm, Johnny Suave. That's what I call him. Johnny Suave with his dating apps. And he's like, okay, bing, bing, bing. Okay, I'm swiping right or left or whatever it is that you like them. And then you go on a date. And then if it doesn't work or you're feeling some red flags, you're like, I'm out and I'm gone to the next person. I think that he's just having internal issues with himself. I really hope that he works it out. But if he's gonna work it out, he needs to work it out ASAP, because I don't think Bao is going to hang around all this time.
Yes, she will.
That bullshit.
Yes, she will.
You think so?
Oh no, most definitely. Because she at least what it's uncomfortable about, she at least knows that he's being honest with her, whether it hurts her or not. That's the only thing that you can expect in a partner. If if a partner is willing to tell their truth and it's going to hurt or sting you a little bit, but you know that they're telling the truth and it's something that they're working on, and it's something that, you know, that's the only way a relationship like this can work out. And I think they both think, look, this is the only person there's no one else that's more perfect for me than this person. We just have to get through all the stuff to try to get to the point of like having a happy marriage. There's still affection with each other. They still, and even if he's like, I don't know if I'm really attracted to her and this, that, and the other, because it's not really sexy. I think he finally goes, okay, you know what? I'm in it. And she goes, okay. I think it's going to be fine. I think they're just freaking out right now, but I really think it's going to work. And I give them an 85.
Okay.
I agree with you on that one. I'll give them an 85 because
what my note said for them two, I said, I really felt Johnny in his moment when he broke down. I said, that was like the realest shit I've seen on this show. Yes. It was really raw. Absolutely. And I appreciate both of them. I really like Bao and I really like Johnny. I'm worried about them because I do feel like I'm great. I'm glad that they have those deep conversations, but you have to be careful about some of the things that you say because words stay forever in somebody's head. And you can say something and say like, you know, this is how I'm feeling now. This is my truth. And you might get over it. You may decide that, you know, this is the person that you choose to be. But in the back of that person's head, I know I'm that type of person. I remember what you said, you know, and I remember how it makes me feel, you know. So I think he needs to tread a little lighter and be careful about the things that he says to her about her. Himself,
about her.
Yourself, but 100%.
I agree. I agree with you, but I don't think he should. If there's a discussion, he does take it upon himself to say, "This is how I'm feeling about it." In reflection of her. I don't think he's saying, oh, it's all her. It's all her.
He's not saying that at all. I'm just telling you, he needs to be careful on the things that he does say to her. Because like in that meeting with Dr. Cal, I don't think that he should have said those words exactly about her being too giddy and feeling, you know, being childlike, because she had just said that he allowed her to express her joy the way she hadn't with anybody else. So that would pull her back. So he just needs to be careful. I do think that they're going to make it. I'm going to give them like an 85, but he needs to choose his words better.
Yeah, I agree because I'll give him an 85 too. But when they were laying in bed, that literally crushed my soul because I lived that. That was a triggering moment for me when they were laying in bed together and she's talking to him and he's kind of told her what he was feeling. And then he's like, well, let's sleep on it. I'll let you sleep on it. And she's like, okay. Because he didn't want to talk about it anymore. And he just wanted to go to bed. And she's like, okay, I'll sleep on it, but I don't think I'm going to get too much sleep tonight. And I was like, imagine that. That shit was triggering for me because I've had those conversations before where I'm like, let's just talk about it. And then you say something and then now you don't want to talk about it anymore. And you just want to go to bed. And now I'm up all night. Like my brain is like, I can't go to sleep because all I'm thinking about is like, do you want me? Is this going to work or what's going to happen? You know what I mean? And I felt her pain and I love Bao. I think Bao has the patience of a saint. And I really think Bao is attracted and really wants this to work. So I give them, the same percentage that you guys give them. I think it's going to work, but I think Johnny needs to step up his game. He needs to get his shit together and get in some therapy. Him and Michaela need to go and get fucking straight up therapy because both them motherfuckers got issues and neither one of their asses should have signed up for fucking Married at First Sight. That's all I got to say.
Oh, I wouldn't put Johnny in the same category as Michaela.
I would.
Oh
Really?
no, not at all. No, not at all.
I mean, not as a psycho, but I think Johnny's got issues, and he needs to get that shit.
We all have issues. We all have issues. It's not one person.
I got issues. Yeah, we all have issues, but I'm not gonna go marry.
But why would you even equate her to Michaela?
But I'm not gonna go marry a stranger. I know I got issues, but I'm not gonna go sign up and marry a stranger.
But why would you equate him to Michaela though?
Yeah, at all.
Both of them have issues. Johnny has got commitment issues. Michaela's just crazy. Michaela just needs to Michaela's got daddy issues and family issues that she needs to figure out. Johnny's got commitment issues, or I think Johnny also has daddy issues. He wants his daddy to friggin' accept his wedding, which he did in the last week's episode. But I still think Johnny's got issues.
Yeah, he does have issues.
Honeymoon, well, how does it go from the honeymoon, where on the honeymoon he's like, she's in her bikini, he's like, oh, she's all that in a bucket of chicken. She's got that.
She is. And everything. He believes that. I think he believes that.
Now we move back home. A week later, we move back into a mutual apartment, and all of a sudden he's got issues.
No, he doesn't have issues. He doesn't have issues with that, though. Remember? He doesn't have issues with that. He said to the guys, he said, oh, yeah, she's got the body that I like, this, that, and the other. It's just, I don't know. He's just scared. He's just scared.
No, he said, I don't think that, I can't remember what he said, but I think it was something to the fact that he doesn't like her like that.
Right now, yes, I believe that. Yeah.
Something tells me, and when I hear that, something tells me, and the way that he's so conflicted about it and he was so emotional about it, I don't know, maybe it's just me because I'm just a pessimist on everything. Something tells me that there's someone else. I think Johnny went into this, married Bao, and I think Johnny is talking to someone else. Or is attracted to someone else.
No.
You heard it from me first. So if this comes out, you already know. Everybody knows where y'all heard it from. I think there's someone else that Johnny has either talked to or is infatuated with or has a crush on.
That would be a twist.
He's trying to go there.
That would be a twist.
I don't agree with that at all. I don't think that's the case at all.
I think hope it's not. But I like
the fact that he is saying everything that's on his mind because if it's really going to work, if it's really going to work, you got to get everything out. You got to get everything out.
Yeah,
I agree. But you also need to sometimes shut the fuck up. Or just hold back on something. You have to be mindful of people's feelings. You do. You just can't. Like I'm saying, I'm only going back to that moment where I saw that she was crushed when he said he didn't like her giddiness. Yes. That's all I'm saying. I want somebody to be as forthright as he's been, but I'm just saying be mindful because things stick with people.
Right. So what are we giving them? I think I think we all agreed to 85, right? 80, 85.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still on
but
that.
You threw out a shocker, girl.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Listen, it's on the tape, so I just said it. I have a feeling there's somebody else, and let me be the first in America.
Not at all. If there was I don't think that's the case at all. I think he's just really freaked. He knows this is something he's always had to confront in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And the only way for him to do this, honestly, he would spend the rest of his life being single and not being forced to be in a relationship and not wanting to be in anything or not want to be married or not, and just continually, not going from relationship to relationship.
Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
I'm just saying, I understand what he's talking about. Unless he was forced. I need a nap. unless he was forced to be in a situation where he's been confronted by all this stuff, and I think it's going to really I think it's going to be so good for them in the future in the future, I think it's going to be great for them. And I think they're really going to have a healthy relationship and have many kids. And I think it's going to really work.
I agree with you on that one. And I think the main reason why he's conflicted, I mean, this is just the pessimist in me thinking that there might be somebody else that he's looking at on dating apps or whatever. And he's having a communicado with. But why
would you think he's having communication with anybody if he's so invested in this thing? Unless there was someone.
He said the only reason why he's invested and the only reason why he's trying to make this work is because he said.
Yeah, and he wouldn't do any kind of work if there was someone else. He wouldn't give a shit about saying any of this or trying to be upset or trying to dig up his feelings. He'd be like, oh, okay, it's great, it's great, it's great. He wouldn't say any of that stuff. If there was someone else, he'd be like, I'm already out, and what are we doing here? This is fine. He is in it. He is straight up, knee deep, up to his waist I am married and I don't know what to do. If he had someone else that he was diverting his attention to, he wouldn't be that upset. He'd be like, oh, okay, well, whatever. He'd be like, okay. That's the way I think. As a man, that's the man perspective for me. If there was someone else, he'd be like, oh yeah, this, that, and the other. He would not be invested at all. And he is so invested that he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, even though he has hurt her feelings.
Yes.
He's so invested in it that, anyway.
I'm hopeful for them, and I really want them to work because I think that at the end of the day, I really think that these two can potentially be the most successful couple in the history of Married at First Sight. But do not lose fact that I just said there might be somebody else. I'm just saying. So if that comes out next week, I'm going to be like, excuse me, what? What'd you say? Where'd you hear that from? The Rona Barrett?
He's not acting like a person who has someone else. He's not acting like that.
No. But when you're dealing with somebody that, excuse me, no offense, but when you're dealing with someone that's all up on the maps all the time, clickety clacking.
On the maps?
On the apps, like the dating apps and everything. He's on every dating app.
But he's not on the app now. He's living with his wife. He's not trying to. He's going to hook up with someone while he's married. He's not even.
Do we know that he deleted? We don't know if he deleted those apps.
Yeah, but he's not.
But even Tanya,
that's not. I
don't trust it.
Back to like the other people, like who have had other women. There were signs. I would find it hard to believe too. I mean, we can watch and see. I would find it very hard to believe because he does seem to be, really in it. He's not going off and disappearing. She knows where he's at. I think she feels comfortable in that. Whereas we think about the other two guys from the last two seasons, you knew that they were doing something.
They were doing something.
That's true. All right, I'm just saying that was
a possibility.
But
I don't get that vibe.
Just in case. But I still give them an 80-85. I am pulling for them because I really absolutely love them. So I just hope it works out.
I think if he has more one-on-one with Pastor Cal instead of them together, I think he could figure out some of his own personal issues without her being there, because sometimes you don't need to hear. There is good. I think it's good to have couples therapy, but then it's also good to have therapy just on your own. And that way, some of the things that he needs to work out just for himself doesn't have to involve her. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Maybe some more meetings with Pastor Cal would be beneficial.
Yes, a lot more meetings with Pastor Cal.
Yeah, but I think I honestly think he's the healthiest out of all of them. He's doing the work. He's doing the emotional work that it takes to be in a committed married relationship.
And I agree, he's showing the most emotion.
The hard stuff, the stuff you don't want to talk about or feel or deal with. He's like, I'm trying so, and he's really trying hard. I think it's going to be great between the two of them. So
I hope so. I'm rooting for them. That's all I'm saying is I'm rooting for them.
There is something about I do think that he's doing the work, but and that's me being a little pessimistic too. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of Tanya, but sometimes
Lovely.
people can seem like they're doing all of this to be like at the very end, well, I did all of that and I still wasn't moved. So
that's fine, but at least you did it though. But you got to at least do it. You can't not do it and say, because we've seen plenty of times these relationships where people weren't even doing that at all, and they were like, okay, I'm not even trying to be in the relationship or trying to work. At least he'll come, even if it doesn't work between the two of them, at least he'll come out of it knowing, this is where I really am in my life and how I'm really feeling.
Yeah.
So, all right.
I hope it works.
That's it. That's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm really anticipating seeing Zach.
I can't wait for next week.
Zach and Myrla. I mean, what's his name?
Michaela.
I'm interested in. That's the only relationship right now that I'm like really interested in because it's just
exactly. It's so explosive.
Yeah.
But I don't really think that's
good
work.
TV.
If they survive, I will eat crow. I don't see that.
I don't see it.
Hey, that does not look good.
I want to see some more of those breakdowns that we saw in that very first preview of the season.
Yes. I want to know what kind of strength it takes to crush a bottle of Clorox wipes. That's all I'm saying. Because that bitch punched that shit down to the ground. And I was like, yo, what the hell kind of rage is that?
All right. Well, till next week, guys.
All right.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Next week. Here's my end of oh, hold on. Let me collect
your little ditty.
Hold on.